Go C. Go say. In Honduras, they say it fast. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start this slideshow. I want to tell you a couple of stories. This girl right here, just to make it a little personal. Her name is Bethany. Like Bethany, but in Creole it's Bethany. That's Bethany. And this happened like probably a week or so after the earthquake, but they didn't have any food, they didn't have any money, and her mother had made these little, they're like cupcake things, and she was trying to sell them. And some bully boys came up to her and took them away from her. And she came to us crying, because that was all she had to try to get some money to get some food to eat. So we went and found the bully boys, and fast, so they hadn't had time to eat any of their little stolen stuff, and we got it all back for her. So she ended up being happy, but that's what she was upset about. All these pictures, there's a lady that's going to be probably the next picture or the next one after that, and you're just going to see her with tears coming down her face. Now, I didn't put the whole picture on there because this slideshow, there's little kids watch it, all churches watch it, a lot of different places, so I can't make it too gross. But the lady that's crying, that you're going to see like a picture throughout this, you'll see tears coming down her face. She's crying because 3 of her fingers are missing. They came off in the earthquake because the rocks came and took them off. And she's actually looking at her hand like this and crying. And all you're going to see is her face. Now, she was at a clinic. I was translating for a bunch of doctors, and we didn't have a hospital or anywhere, so all these people were coming to us to get treatment. And I was just out there helping translate because didn't have any people that spoke Creole. Actually, nobody when they first got there. But the lady is looking at her hand, and these 2 fingers are gone, and that one's partway gone. And she's actually looking at her hand, crying. Now, all you're going to see is her face. Also, like I said, this is very sanitized because what we saw was gruesome. The smells, there were so many dead bodies, even in our town. You could smell it all over the whole area. They just had to start digging mass graves. In Port-au-Prince, there was bodies everywhere. Again, you got to realize people were cut off. The roads, the highways were barricaded with rocks and boulders. People couldn't contact each other because of the cell phone system being knocked out everywhere. People didn't know if their relatives were dead or alive. There was literally bodies piled in the street. I didn't put too much of that on there, but there is a little bit. Anywhere you look on here, you see a wrapped up sheet or something, that's a body. Again, I didn't put the really gross stuff. I didn't want everybody going home and go, look what they showed us in school today. There wasn't a lot of littler kids than this, but I did put, there are some bodies in there. There's a couple of bodies in there you won't even notice. And some of them, one of them, I didn't even notice it when I took the picture, and I saw later there's a big pile of rubble, and there's actually a body in there just like that.
Oh my God.
And I didn't see it until later when I looked at the picture, and I looked at it and said, there's a body. At any rate, that's how quick everything changed. Nothing's ever been the same there. I'm glad to be there because we can help. We can do a lot of good. There are a lot of good things. Most of the people in our pictures here, her, him, we helped these people. We got food to them. You'll see towards the end of the slideshow where we were giving out food. We got a school there that has close to 1,000 kids in it. We got a bunch of schools, but this one in this particular area has close to 1,000 kids. We had a big food program there. And school was shut down for at least a month after the earthquake. And so we had a bunch of, lucky to get out of school, but not lucky to do it for an earthquake.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we took all the rice and food, beans and rice and everything, and just made a bunch of meals. Had the whole neighborhood come over in shifts. We bring in groups of kids and let them come in and eat. These pictures, I think all of them were taken within about a 2-week period of the earthquake. Like Mr. Murray said a while ago, these are our pictures. These aren't nothing off the internet. So all these are pictures I took them or somebody, because I'm in some of them, so I didn't take those. So it's either me or associates that took it, but this is all stuff that we saw. So anyway, I'm going to show that to you. I wanted to mention at the end, there's one girl at the end of the slideshow. She's got her head wrapped up. They brought her to us 2 weeks after the earthquake. And she had already been treated in another town, so her head was wrapped up. And so they brought her to us. She needed to have her bandages changed. And she had a bunch of little marks all over her face. And it turned out she'd been under the rubble for 4 days. And they thought she was dead. And when they took off the wrapping from her head, there was a big chunk right up in here, missing, where you could see her skull. You could see white, just her skull there. The skin was gone, the hair was gone, there was just a patch right there. And you'll see the girl, you won't see the patch. Yeah, you want to see gross stuff, you got to get on my Facebook. Lockett. Junior. Because see, my dad's had Lockett too. My dad looks at his Facebook about once a year. So, and Mr. Murray spends to me, you always get it through him. I don't put super gross pictures just because a lot of people look at them. I want you to see what it was like. I don't want to try to gross people out. I want you to see what it's like. But on the other hand, too, I don't want somebody's relative that I'm friends with in Haiti to see that I put a picture of their dad on Facebook laid out and their face all smashed in. Not cool. So you have to be careful what you post. So, because I got people literally all over the world, and Honduras and Haiti both now. Got a lot of people that watch, so I have to be careful what I post. So anyway, back to the girl. We unwrapped her head. She had that big chunk missing. And I told the lady that brought her in, which was an aunt, I said, wow, she's lucky she's not dead the way the blocks, because a lot of people they brought in, they had pieces of her face gone, were just blocked. Walls had fallen off them and just tore stuff, tore parts of their body away. And I